Hive Stadium in Edinburgh for the opening match in the new Six Nations Women's Under-21 series. And with this first round of games scheduled to correlate with round 2 of the Guinness Women's Six Nations, we have 2 incredible matches to look forward to today in a double header on the Murrayfield campus. At 1:30, Scotland face England in the senior fixture at Scottish Gas Murrayfield. But first, it's the turn of their Under-21 counterparts. Kick-off at 11 o'clock in the Women's Under-21 series. It's Scotland against England. Good morning and thank you for joining us here at Hive Stadium for the first match in the new Six Nations Women's Under-21 series. 9 games across 3 match days, and what better way to kick things off than a match between old foes, Scotland and England. I'm delighted to be joined by someone who knows the game north and south of the border very well, former Scotland international and Sail Shark, Sarah Law. Sarah, first of all, let's talk about the genesis of this, the competition. It's been run over a week in recent seasons at under-20 level. Why the upgrade to this new format?
So this has been designed to prepare some of the girls for the next step in their rugby journey. So some of them will be hoping to be playing for senior national sides over the next couple of years, and so this format has changed to sort of give them a week's run up into those games, the sort of format that they might see if they're involved in those national fixtures. Today we've got a great occasion with this game being played at the Hive and then heading across the road to the main stadium at Murrayfield here to see the senior team, and I think that'll be a huge inspiration for some of these girls who hope to be in that position in a few years' time.
As I said at the start, you know rugby north and south of the border really well. Contrast the two environments and what that means for the head coaches when they're putting a squad together for the competition.
Yeah, I think the players come from slightly different environments. Some of the English girls today have been playing in PWR environments, getting sort of regular games against really high opposition. Some of the Scottish girls will have slightly less exposure to that, but a lot of them have just come off the back of a Celtic Challenge competition, which is playing against Welsh and Irish teams as well as the Scottish counterparts. So I think they'll be prepared for that, having had that competition to put them in a good place for this game.
And I think most people will view England as favourites, but I think Scotland will feel they've got a great chance to take a big scalp here at home in Edinburgh. How do you see both teams approaching this tactically?
Yeah, I think from a Scottish perspective, that Celtic Challenge has actually given a lot of these players a lot of opportunities to play together. This is obviously the first weekend in the Under-21 series, and some of those England girls will be looking to form those connections today, whereas some of the Scottish girls are kind of ahead of that in that regard. So I'm really excited to see how those connections go. That sort of 9 and 10 axis is somewhere that I really look towards. And then the centre combinations as well, I think those could be some really dangerous on both sides for the teams today.
Thank you, Sarah. We'll hear from you again just before kick-off at 11 o'clock, but we can hear from both camps now. I caught up with them earlier this morning. We can hear from Charlie Hayter, England's head of women's performance, shortly, but first it's the thoughts of the Scotland head coach, Louise Dalglish. Again, it's an exciting change to the format with this new Under-21 tournament. How does it change your approach and what you can do with the team compared to how it was for previous tournaments when the games were condensed into 1 week?
I think the benefit of this format change means that the preparation can be more tailored to the opposition. The benefit for the younger players coming through is that they then get that real match week feel experience. For the senior Six Nations, that's what they're aspiring to, and getting that, whether it's a travel to France, the home build-up for England, in addition to the senior national team playing, I just think it allows us to tailor our approach, but it also is a more realistic step into what to expect when they move into the senior space.
So you face England and Italy at home, France away, some tough games. What would constitute success over those 3 games?
I think holistically from a pathway performance we need to make sure that we're seeing players and that they're getting opportunity. We know that winning or losing games will happen, tries will be scored, tries will be conceded, all of those things will happen regardless. I think for us to make sure that we need to see players in certain positions, to see combinations, to identify who is that next layer of internationalist and make sure that they can learn as much as they can from every single match, that would constitute success for me.
Now we know England will be good. How do you get the better of them today? What areas of the game have you tried to nail coming into this?
I mean, they've got a really kind of like a consistent pathway. They've got a lot of players with experience, but ultimately we've also got a lot of players who've had phenomenal experience and really developed skill set through Celtic, through the Central Programme and through the work that they're doing in WBSR. So like ultimately we will play our game. Like we know they're big athletes, we know that they can execute things well, but ultimately we also know the areas of attack that we're going to try and go after and work hard at that. And like it's going to look messy at times, but we're going to embrace that.
Most of your players are based in Scotland, have featured in the recent Celtic Challenge. You've added a few England-based players and there's 2 or 3 under-23s as well. How excited are you by the squad that you've put together?
I think that's the thing, like the blend of the different experiences that they bring, and everybody is just adding value. So whether it's players who have been training with the national team, whether it's players who are playing WBSR and are based down south, the players that train together week in, week out at Central, like the way that they've come together and pulled as a connected unit this week has been amazing. And I think for me, we know again that the connections on field are not going to be perfect, but I think if they can go out and really drive what they've been doing off field, on the field, then that for me is going to have some real positive outcomes come the end of the game today.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Louise, and good luck today.
Cheers, Bruce. Have fun.
Charlie, you finished third in the Under-20 tournament in 2024, second in 2025, but it seems like you've had great preparation. You hosted Canada Under-21s for a live training session and then beat the national side. Have you got a squad which can go one better this year?
Yeah, we're really excited about the group we've got this year. A really good combination of players that are new from the under-18s, fresh into the adult rugby environment, and then some more experience as well. So a really good combination. We've had a really good preparation leading into the tournament. It's been good to connect with the Red Roses and have some players that have been in those environments as well and had that experience. So yeah, really excited around what the next 3 games will hold, and especially today at the Hive and the opportunity we've got here.
How has preparation differed this year with the change in format?
Yeah, it's changed. Obviously, the move into the senior Six Nations window has given us more opportunities. You know, players are coming fresh from their playing environments domestically, whether that's PWR, Bucks or Championships. So they've got opportunities to come fresh in from that. Lean into this environment. We've got more connection with the Red Roses than we've ever had before. So we've had 13 players, 23 or under in that Red Roses space. We've got 11 new caps today in the Under-21 space. So a really good opportunity for that mix of experience and development opportunity.
Besides a win, obviously, what else would you hope to get from the team today?
Yeah, no, obviously it's a competitive time. We want to look at adapting and how this group adapts to the conditions, adapts to the opportunity they've got here, adapts to the crowd that we hope come in. But we're really looking at how does this learning opportunity develop and evolve. Yes, we want to get the win, but equally we want to look at how do we embrace moments within the game and look to adapt to those.
And lastly, just tell us about your team selection.
Yeah, a real mix. As I say, 11 new caps. We've the opportunity to bring in a couple of older players who have shown real form in PWR, or their club environment helps us. So we've got a real good mix of kind of players that have proved themselves over the year and want to see what they're like on the international stage.
Great, thank you very much, Charlie, and go well.
Cheers.
The thoughts there of Charlie Hayter, England's head of women's performance, and before that Louise Dalgleish, the Scotland head coach. As we're approaching kick-off in the Six Nations Women's Under-21 series, Scotland against England. First match in this new format, the upgrade from the Under-20 summer series. And clearly everybody excited about those changes. There's our list of games for today. So 11 o'clock kick-off here at Hive Stadium, and then at Dexcom Stadium in Galway, Ireland take on Italy at 2:20. And to round off today's action, it's Wales against France at Cardiff Arms Park at 6:15. And not forgetting double headers, with all of those games scheduled to coincide with the Guinness Women's Six Nations. And Sarah Law alongside me, we'll get your thoughts on that, because it's hugely exciting, I think, for everybody involved. Let's look at the team sheets first of all, though. Home side Scotland. And Louise Dalgleish starts with a front row of Poppy Fletcher and Faye Sutherland either side of co-captain Megan Hyland. The second row pairing of Charlotte Russell and Gemma Thompson. And in the back row, vice-captain Katrina Moody packs down at number 8 with Scarlett Down and Isabel Twigger, both of Brunel University. Joining her in the back row, the half-back pairing Emily Love and Poppy Mellenby, who featured at full-back for Glasgow Warriors in the recent Celtic Challenge, but moved forward to the pivot at 10 today. Another vice-captain, Lucy McRae, in the centres alongside Nicole Flynn. Pace and power in the back three, Scarlett Haddo, Skye Phimister and Freya McCall. And out come the sides, led by the respective captains. Megan Hyland leading Scotland out, Sophie McQueen, the England under-21 captain, an open side flanker. We'll look through the England team very shortly, but the sides lining up down in front of a packed stand here at Hive Stadium for the national anthems. A rousing rendition of both anthems, mixture of excitement and nerves etched on the players' faces. A quick look through this England side. LJ Lewis names Amelia Williams, Hayley Jones and Aisha Jha in the front row, Grace Keele and Kiwi Fitzpatrick in the boiler house, and in the back row Sophie McQueen the captain, joined by Zoe Dare and Hayley Head, who was drafted into the full national squad this week after the injury to Moena Talling. Amelia McDougall and Ella Cromack.
Go well, Alex.
Carmela Morale and Molly Bunker in the centres. And a back three of Grace White, Alice Bennett and Solana Shaw de Leon. Look out for Honey Kerslake coming off the bench, just 18 years old, co-captained England in the recent Six Nations festival. And Sarah Locke, just bring you in quickly before kick-off. It's just got the feel of an incredibly exciting day here.
It does have the feel of a really great occasion. For some of these girls, this will be the first time they've pulled on a Scotland jersey at under-21 level. In the previous setup, they didn't have a home fixture, so for some of them this is the first time playing for their country in front of a home crowd, and it definitely feels like a big occasion for them, and really excited to see the rugby that we're gonna watch today.
So final words in the huddles from the captain. It will be Scotland to kick things off. Freya McCall, the Loughborough uni fullback, will ignite this game. And the new look Six Nations Women's Under-21 series is underway. Freya McCall, perfectly weighted kick, allows the Scottish chasers to get there and challenge, but it's been won by England through Grace White, the left wing. So first attacking opportunity for England. Ball goes loose though, and perhaps just early nerves. I think the referee was playing an advantage. It's a knock-on by Scotland as they challenged for the kick-off, and we'll have our first set piece of the day.
Okay, Mark. Really good weight on that first kick-off, just over the 10-metre line, and putting the ball in a really good position for the Scottish chasers to get up and win the ball. On that occasion, not able to get the ball back, but England will be wary of that in the next few kick-offs, that Scotland looking to compete early.
The referee, Alexandra Ferret of France. You don't see that very often. First scrum staying up, working well. The ball trapped in there. Pressure coming on from Scotland as England break away. Amelia McDougall in the scrum half with the carry. Feeds Ella Cromack. And the carry by Molly Bunker. Quick ball there for McDougall again as England put boot to ball. Freya McCall knew exactly where to be. Scotland thinking about running out of there. Skye Phimister puts boot to ball, gets the perfect bounce as Carmela Morale tries to drive the Scotland right wing into touch. The balls come slipping out, just untidy by Scotland. Won by England, and hear him scare him at the start here. Carmela Morale involved again, this time with ball in hand. And play on the Scotland 10-metre line, just right down in front of our commentary position. The south stand here at Hive Stadium. The referee playing an advantage as Kiri Fitzpatrick almost slicing through the Scottish defence. Amelia McDougall now looking for holes.
No advantage. So we've got two.
No advantage.
One is here, offside, and one of the head captain.
It's a choice of two penalties.
Yeah, you've got
for
two
England
penalties.
here.
The one here, never back on side. Yeah. Or here, the tackle on the pipe.
Do you want here?
Here? Alright. Never back
England
on side.
doing really well to build some phases there and get over the gain line. A couple of really good carries from their second rows in the middle there, and then the speed to support to get that clean ball for Amelia McDougall at 9. She plays some of her rugby at 10 as well, but already looking up and having a couple of snipes there on that breakdown.
No. Except here. Go, stay back. Here? Yeah. Just hold, have me on the back. Who's coming in? Your receiver? Alright.
So Ella Cromack punching that ball into the corner. England about 7 metres out. A first real opportunity of the game.
Backward.
A good
And then accidental knock-on.
line out drill working initially, but then an accidental offside.
And an accidental scrum blue.
Yeah, they've done all the initial hard work, and then just looks like a little knock on, and then England player just in front of the ball carrier there who's touched it, and we've got a scrum.
Yeah, I'm gonna go outside. That side. Crutch!
The Scotland scrum
Binds!
7 or 8 metres out from their goal line. Just look to hold firm here. Get the ball back to Poppy Mellenbait for the clearing kick. Emily Love, Watsonians and Edinburgh scrum half are looking to take a phase first. Lucy McRae, the vice captain. Back they come to Gemma Thompson in the second row. Scotland perhaps playing with fire here, just going through phases close to that try line. Emily Love perhaps thinking of a kick now. And back he goes to Poppy Mellenbait under huge pressure from England there. Doesn't make a huge amount of ground, and England again will have a line out. Still within that Scotland 22.
Yep.
Yeah, Scotland using a lot of phases to get just a couple of metres further up the pitch. It is a narrow dead ball area here at the Hive Stadium, so you can understand them trying to make a little bit more space, but Poppy Mellenby still under a lot of pressure there to get that ball away.
With England line out malfunctioning there, that's a brilliant take by Faye Sutherland. The Scotland tight head prop, and a chance perhaps for Scotland out wide through the hands of Lucy McRae. And Scotland up over halfway, looking to play quickly. Emily Love uses Kat Moody, the Edinburgh number 8 and vice captain, looking to find space down the blind side. It's been knocked on though by Scotland. So back with the visitors, just around about halfway, using the forwards. But Sophie McQueen, the captain, couldn't take the ball with her, so we'll come back. No advantage from that Scotland knock on.
Scrum. Yeah.
So is it towards the end of that play there, just looking to go back down the blind side there, and just a little bit sloppy on the hand catch from Scotland. Early on there we've seen a couple of kicks from Scotland that they've regathered. I suspect Louise Dalgleish has given them a bit of a message about, if they've seen space, being brave enough to go to it, and we've seen Faye Sutherland not afraid to go to a kick early on as well, working really hard to get that ball back. But it's nice to see the Scotland under-21s playing with a little bit of freedom so far.
Bind!
Yes, we're both coaching teams clearly looking for a win, but it was nice to hear them talk about the development side of this as well.
Resets.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's what this tournament is designed to do. This is the future stars of the international game, and we expect some of these girls to go on and play for their senior sides in the future, and this is all about preparing them for those opportunities, and hopefully we'll see them in the not too distant future across the road playing in some big stadiums.
But it means that we've seen evidence of it already. The players perhaps happier to try things, maybe not quite the same amount of pressure that they'll have at the next level. Scotland penalised for taking that one down. Penalty to England.
Just can you repeat the communication? Yeah.
So 7.5 minutes played here at Hive Stadium. I don't think that is going to find touch. Scarlett Haddo trying to keep that in.
As it happens though, that's been touched, so carried over by Scotland, and actually it's going to be a really good outcome for the England pack.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I think given the choice between a line out, which hasn't gone perfectly so far for England, or a scrum 5 metres out, I think they would have taken the scrum.
Feet underneath your body, please. I'm coming to that side. Here.
300! 300!
Grace White, the England left winger, lurking over here towards this left touchline, and lots of space.
Shoulder out. Crutch. Bind.
Amelia Williams, Hayley Jones and Aisha Jah in the front row for England, up against Poppy Fletcher, Megan Hyland and Faye Sutherland.
Use it.
The England pack just inching forward, as to play away though. Referee playing an advantage, picked up at the base by Hayley Head, and she goes over. Well, no, try has not been awarded.
Wheeling the scrum.
Scotland penalised for wheeling the scrum. We'll come back for the penalty.
I think it was Poppy Mellenby in the end who did a really good job just to get underneath that ball and hold it up. But we've seen a couple of scrums so far today. The first couple looked about equal, and then England just asserting a little bit of dominance. Traditionally very good in that pack, and we've seen it from this under-21 side there, 5 metres out. That was the end of it. Poppy Mellenby doing a good job just to get underneath that ball and stop that score, but England will not have another shot at this scrum. Scotland are going to have to do something a little bit different just to stop them being driven back.
That's a brilliant bit of defence by Poppy Mellenby. The Glasgow and Edinburgh University fly half. I wonder if she'll have to do the same again. Hayley Head will fancy another crack at this, I think.
Time off. Time off. Please, come, you two. We're not having good scrums so far, so I need better attitude from you both. Let her bind, and you bind longer. Alright? Reset.
The referee laying down the law to the front row.
Square, Mills. You got your square.
I'm sure we'll just do exactly the same, regardless.
Time back on.
So options here for England. Do they use the power of the pack? Scotland scrum just creaking slightly. Heady head, powerful number 8, trail finder at the back. And a pacey back division strung across to the left. So lots for Scotland to think about here. A penalty. A quick tap, away goes Amelia McDougall.
Over there. That's over there. You cannot go in front of the 5. That's over there.
Referee not happy with
Collapsing.
McDougall. I think didn't take that from the mark.
You'd expect them to go for another scrum.
Yeah, just doing it. Please, girls.
And they do indeed.
Please.
So Scotland penned down over in that far corner
Feet underneath.
behind Scottish Gas Murrayfield. Scotland
I need you
and
to
England
stay up,
will go head to
alright?
head 1:30 this afternoon in the Guinness Women's Six Nations. Still 0-0 here after 10 minutes. England threatening.
Crutch. Bind. Set.
Scotland again holding firm. The referee asking England to play away heady head. Well, England go wider this time. Carmela Morale, the inside centre, has the power to drive over, and England do open the scoring.
Yeah, it looked like Scotland had held better in that scrum there.
I need you to be up. I don't want you to
England
come
asked
back.
to move the ball
Alright, I
away
need better picture
from that
you.
scrum
Yeah,
instead this
yeah,
time, but
don't-
then it's the centres piling up.
There, alright? I need better
Camilla
action.
Morel
Yeah.
just powering over from
you cannot come
short
back.
range. She looked like she'd nearly made it on that first carry, but
All clear, Alex.
not quite, and then having the presence of mind just to reach out and stretch for that line, and England get themselves on the score sheet first.
A great finish from Carmela Morale. It took a while.
20 seconds.
3 scrums, heady head, was
20.
over the line, held up brilliantly by Poppy Mellenby. But England just going a little wider. Carmela Morale dotting down. And the conversion comes back off the post, so unable to add the extras. But it's England who lead here at Hive Stadium after 12 minutes. It's Scotland 0, England 5.
Here's another look at it just from the base of the scrum. Moving the ball away just a little bit wider this time into that 9-10 channel, and just the power of some of these England centres doing enough to get over on her own.
Freya McCall finding Amelia McDougall, and just thumps the ball back into Scotland's court. Picked up by Poppy Mellenby, heads infield. Ray Sutherland in to win possession. And her fellow prop Poppy Fletcher with the carry, 22-year-old, one of a handful of 20 or under 23 players who are allowed to be selected in this competition. Just to add a bit of experience, has been turned over by England. Freya McCall tries to make the tackle, but clean through the Scottish defence goes Molly Bunker. So a try apiece for the England centres, 2 quick-fire tries, and England lead by 10.
Yeah, England competing really hard at that breakdown there. Scotland piling some bodies in, but losing them all to the ground and just leaving that ball to pop out the back of the breakdown. England first to react, swoop up on the ball, and then they just look to move it straight away.
All clear, Alex.
Cool, thanks.
Into Molly Bunker's hand. Just a little missed tackle there. She accelerates away from the defender, gets over for England second.
20 seconds.
So one missed tackle. Freya McCall, you can perhaps see there, was up in the line, caught in 2 minds, and so nobody at the back for Scotland. So Carmela Morale and Molly Bunker, the England centres, were for 2 tries in the space of 2 minutes. Conversion unsuccessful again. England now with a healthy 10 points to 0 advantage. Phil McCall certainly mixing things up with her restarts. Sky Phimister in there, and I think has been rewarded. Tackle off the ball by England, but it was Sky Phimister getting in there. Has won her side a penalty, the first real opportunity for Scotland to get inside that England 22.
Good energy from Scotland to get after that kick-off. Again, just over the 10-metre line, this time dribbled along the floor rather than put into the air, and then Sky Phimister working really hard to get on ball. Wasn't sure if she'd done enough there, but referee rewarding her for getting on that ball.
Yours here. Who are you, receiver? So here.
So from the penalty, Scotland 8 metres out. Captain Megan Hyland. A throw to the front of the line, can be taken not cleanly and not straight. England went up to challenge.
Captain, all right.
Not working out for Scotland.
England being brave enough to put someone up in the air there and just get a little bit of a competition, really force Scottish hooker into throwing that straight down the middle. In the end, she threw it just to the outside of Scotland's half, and England rewarded with the scrum, which has looked good in the last 5 minutes.
We haven't really spoken about the weather, but I think what breeze there is probably behind England here, perhaps coming slightly across on a diagonal into our commentary position. Sun shining, the rain and the warm-up seems to have gone heady-head. Picks up from the base. England not thinking about a kick there.
Who's back?
Grace White taking play out of the England 22. Pressure from Scotland at the breakdown. So knocked on by England, picked up by a player in front, and Scotland with a penalty and a chance to get themselves right back into that corner.
Yeah, England going to this left-hand touchline early on there. Looked like some easy space from the base of the scrum, and then just looking to play the way in. I think they felt like Scotland might have tackled the line from that breakdown, but as it happened, she knocks the ball on, picked up by someone in front. Scotland have a penalty and a great kick to the corner, took some 5 metres out.
You could sense hearts and mouths across the whole of the stand here as Poppy Mellenby, she knew what she was doing. I think most of the crowd thought that was going to touch and goal, but she has gotten her side to within 5 metres of the try line. Let's see what Megan Hyland can do here. Charlotte Russell plucks that ball from there. Oh, it's been knocked on by Scotland, so 2 line-outs, 2 errors. And look to apply pressure here. Charlotte Russell piling into the tackle there. Just a little over-eager, not rolling out, and that again
not rolling away.
hands the penalty, an easy exit to England.
Captain.
And the water carrier getting a round of applause there. A great catch and a good kick. Takes play up towards the England 10 metre line.
Yeah, here. 2 metres, please. Step back. Thank you.
Charlotte Russell going up to challenge, but England accurate at the line out, and they seem to have manufactured some space out wide. Scarlett Haddle caught in 2 minds, chased by Isabel Twigger, the Scotland 7. Kat Moody there as well, tries to get in, but England a sweeping move. Takes them up to the Scotland 10 metre line. An inside pass can't be taken. And playing the floor, playing the ball on the floor. Lack of discipline from both sides.
Here we go. Okay.
Just for a second, the Scotland defence, all at sea is England went wide, showing their pace. Great effort by the Scotland back row to chase back. Now what can Scotland produce from here? Oh, there was space out wide. Lucy McRae opting to thread the kick through, came off England feet. She had 2 or 3 players outside her. It's back with England and Kiwi Fitzpatrick. Carmela Morale, her first try scorer. And McDougall whips the ball out. Met with stiff defence. Gemma Thompson racing forward. Scotland defence looking well organised out there, but missing tackles.
That's a maul.
And Scotland have turned this into a maul. Oh, it's well done by England. The ball out into the midfield again. The carry by Kiwi Fitzpatrick.
Coming from the side.
And from the side though, and another penalty.
Coming from the side. On the tackle.
Scuppering what looked like another good opportunity for England.
Yeah, England will definitely be frustrated with a couple of penalties that they've given away today. They really look like they're getting on top of Scotland. Really good momentum, and then just a little side entry at that ruck where they would have got good momentum anyway and they could have been playing on top again. Scotland take a quick tap from the penalty, looking to play.
England looked offside, and I think the assistant referee down on this side has just relayed that in. So Scotland a free ball. England perhaps short of defenders on this side, but doing well to slow Scottish ball down there.
No advantage. My mark. 6.
Well, Emily Love keen to play at pace. Feeds Poppy Mellenby, and again England couldn't have been back 10 there. It's a strong carry as Carmela Morale piles in to make the tackle. Charlotte Russell playing scrum half for Scotland. Poppy Mellenby just shovels that along to the forwards. Gets herself back in place and then through the forwards, and Scotland could well have space out wide as Freya McCall feeds Scarlett Haddo. The Stirling flyer back to McCall, kicks the ball through. Chased by McCall and Haddo. Dealt with well by England in their 22, but Scotland piling in, trying to effect the turnover here. Well, they get the ball, but illegally.
Oh, that looked tight to me.
2 captains, please. 2 captains.
Scotland doing really well to work the ball to the edge there. Freya McCall getting round for a second touch on the edge as well, and then a well-weighted kick through to the England 22. Looked like a good chase, and a couple of bodies just piling into that breakdown, trying to win the ball back. It looked like they might have done enough to win the ball back, but referee right on the spot saying that Scotland were playing the ball back to. This was just the edge of it. Freya McCall just looping round the outside of her winger, sticking that ball down through the channel, knowing that the England fullback had come up into the line.
The England kick not finding touch, in Scotland showing ambition. Happy to keep ball in hand. Good skills by Faith Sutherland. Feeds Scarlett down. Scotland back in their own 10-metre line.
Advantage of the ball tackle.
Emily Love to Nicole Flynn.
What's the number and where's my mark?
The mark is middle of the field,
And
in
off the
between
ball
the
tackle,
22
and the
and the
referee
10.
asking for a number. She's just spoken to the 2 captains.
Okay.
I suspect we'll lose patience very shortly.
Tackle of the ball.
Yeah, number 6. Number 6.
Number 6.
Late tackle.
Late tackle. Number 6.
Zoe Dare, the culprit this time.
Thanks, Alan.
But yes, probably too many penalties for both coaches' liking in the opening 22 minutes here. Scotland looking for space, and Skye Phimister, powerful Stirling winger. That's a beautifully weighted kick, just didn't get the bounce that she was looking for.
Take step.
Good skills from Phimister.
Stick.
England in possession. Freya McCall, a lonely figure at the back for Scotland. England have spotted that and found space. That ball will just roll end over end into touch here. Too much space for Freya McCall to cover at the back.
Really good heads-up rugby from Amelia McDougall there as well. Just spotting. Scotland have done really well to work the ball to this right-hand touchline. Skye Phimister chasing after her own kick, but then staying in that front line and leaving Freya McCall on her own back in that backfield. There was always going to be a little bit of space, and Amelia McDougall sees it and then puts in a good box kick that rolls into touch deep in Scotland's half.
Well, the Scotland line out not functioning at all.
Take a step, take a step.
That hands possession back to the visitors in a dangerous position. Hayley Jones, powerful carry, takes play into the Scotland 22, and then Hayley Head unable to take the pass from Amelia McDougall. Scotland survive.
Yeah, time off. Are you okay? Time's up.
24 minutes on the clock inside Hive Stadium here in Edinburgh. And it's England leading by 2 tries. Carmela Morale and her centre partner Molly Bunker. 11 and 13 minutes into the game.
Time on.
A quick breather, take on some water. What would have been said in those huddles, Sarah?
I think they'll have been chatting about some of the good things that have happened on both sides. I think both teams have been relatively pleased, I think, with the opening 25 minutes. England managing their field position quite well through the 9s and 10s, the forwards getting them some decent go forward when they've had opportunities. I think there's been a couple of handling errors that have maybe let them down and meant they haven't capitalised on all of their opportunities. From the Scotland perspective, I think they'll be pleased with the bravery they've shown to go to that width and the accuracy of the skills to be able to get there. I think they've really found some spaces on those wings on both sides of the pitch through some basic skills of fixing a player, creating a 2v1 and putting the wingers into space. So I think both teams will be relatively pleased with how the opening 25 minutes have gone.
England more pleased with those 2 tries. Scotland again showing a willingness to run from deep. Emily Love just having to wait on someone coming round the corner. It was Isabel Twigger. Out it goes to Scarlett Haddock, just flirting with the left-hand touchline. Back to the forwards. Twigger again, Kat Moody and Charlotte Russell going in to secure possession. Poppy Mellenby has to chip that ball over the top. It was half charged down by England. Hayley Head, the England number 8, eventually securing possession. Grace White to skip out of tackles, does brilliantly, the England left wing. Mazy run into the Scotland 22, whipped away by Amelia McDougall, and England threatening again, out wide. Ella Cromack almost through the line, and over they go. Cromack doing the damage, and England in for their 3rd try. That's Carmela Morale goes over for her 2nd, the England inside centre. Cromack just catching the eye of the Scotland defence. They didn't know where to defend, leaving holes. Brilliantly finished by England.
Yeah, England pouncing on that opportunity well, just a turnover from that chip over the top from Poppy Mellenby, and then Ella Cromack just picking the right side to attack, breezing past that first defender and then looking for that second pass afterwards, finding her inside centre on her outside shoulder, putting England in for their 3rd.
Carmela Morale unsuccessful with her first 2 conversion attempts, and again the flags stay down, but about 15 minutes left to play in the first half here at Hive Stadium, and England now with a healthy 15-0 advantage.
Yeah, this was just the end of it again. Scotland overfolded slightly, too many players onto that right hand side, and then Ella Cromack just collided in between 2 of the Scottish forwards, put her centre into a bit of space on the outside.
Yes, Scotland just short of numbers there, didn't know who to defend and left too much space in closer, which Ella Cromack took full advantage of. Carmela Morale on hand to go over for her 2nd try of the match. Charlotte Russell with the carry. Her Watsonians teammate Emily Love, scrum half, hits the ball away. That's good hands again from Faith Sutherland, finds Freya McCall. Ball goes loose, went backwards. Nicole Flynn tidies up. And Love again, never willing. Kat Moody, England number 8, Scotland number 8, apologies, with the carry. Russell again combining with Scarlett down, trying to create space for the Scotland back three, which have looked dangerous with the little possession they've had. Phimister, McCall and Haddo. Scotland just working their way upfield patiently. Megan Hyland, the captain. Poppy Mellenby thought about the pass. It was cut off by Hayley Head, came racing up. And then kicked off downfield by Lucy McRae. Skye Phimister on hand. Solana Shaw de Leon does well, the England fullback. And England back in possession on their 10-metre line. Sophie McQueen with the carry. Oh, Cromack with the pass. Away goes Amelia McDougall, trying to find a way through. A bit untidy, but England looking comfortable in possession. It's Carmela Morale through the pass. I think straight into touch. Knock on, in fact, so we'll have a Scotland scrum.
All got a little bit loose at the end there. Amelia McDougall testing Scottish defenders in and around that breakdown again. Just having a little bit of a snipe.
Marks on the 5.
Making them just have a think about whether she might be a threat at that breakdown and whether Scottish defender might need to turn in and create a bit of space for her England teammates on the outside. But after that first ball went down, just got a little bit loose. A couple of people just shoveling the ball on and into touch.
Amelia McDougall, Saracens playing scrum half. I think normally a 10, but looks pretty comfortable at 9.
Yeah, I've been quite impressed with her in this this opening half at 9. Very comfortable 10 as well, and playing some really nice stuff as a 9. The Scottish perspective as well, as Katie Ainsworth named on the bench at 21, so she normally plays fly half for Stirling and for Glasgow as well, but we might see her in a scrum half position as well later on in the game.
Are you happy with left side going square? I think you guys need to do better in both sides. I've told you already.
So another breather for everyone as the sun comes out here in Edinburgh. It's a miserable morning, but the game being played in lovely conditions. Pitch, of course, artificial turf here. Fantastic for free-flowing rugby, and we've seen a bit of it. Both sides showing a great willingness to run the ball, try and get into the wide spaces.
Just show me good pictures, and it's going to be all right.
But it's England who have been the more clinical of the sides. Carmela Morale with a brace, and Molly Bunker, her centre partner, with England's third try. With about 10 minutes left in the first half. Scotland 0, England 15.
Set! Hold! Stay up! Balls out!
Sarah Lowe itching to, I think, tell us that there was Scotland players out here in the width. Freya McCall, one of them. Skye Phimister alongside her, and McCall almost winning that, went up to challenge for it. It's been won by England. And again, they've seen that there's a huge amount of space at the back as Freya McCall unless they race back into position. And again, that's just brilliant heads up rugby as McCall can't get there. The ball rolls into touch inside the 22, a 50-22.
That was an excellent kick. Great spotting of the space on that transition as well. You could see from Scotland's setup they had winger and their fullback hugging this right-hand touchline. It looked like they had something fancy planned. Probably that kick just set up in the middle of the pitch a little bit too much, and then straight off the transition, Amelia McDougall looks up and spots that there's no one in that backfield, and then that is a great kick just to roll into the 22.
And then accurate at the line out, the ball well set. England working their way towards the Scotland try line. Sophie McQueen breaks away, and England threatening again. Forwards rolling their sleeves up, happy to just pick and go. Scotland just a metre or so away from the try line. Troops massing here for England, just inches short. One more face, you do it for England, and it does. 4 tries for England. Well, this time it's the forwards. It's been all the centres up to now. But the forwards take their turn and powerful play.
Yeah, it certainly is powerful, isn't it? From that line out, they've just got great field position there. Straight from the line out, they set themselves up into the middle of the pitch, and then it's just about getting their drills right on their pick and goes.
All clear, Alex.
Moving into this space. It's the hooker in the end who gets over, but they were queuing up to take the next turn. Pick and go into the middle of the pitch, and the power tells in the end. Hayley Jones gets over for England's 4th try of the day.
Hayley Jones, the trail finders hooker, plunges over. Conversion successful this time, and it's Scotland 0, England 22. About 7 minutes left to play in the first half.
Keep them behind you. Advantage knock on.
Well, knocked on by England, and Scotland getting rare possession inside the England half. Scottish front row heavily involved again, and Kat Moody as Emily Love switches play to the left, and Nicole Flynn gets her way through. Real opportunity here for Scotland that couldn't be taken by Megan Hyland.
Knock on advantage, Whites.
Well, Scotland almost in, perhaps just needed one more phase, but knocked on
Take a step,
by the hooker.
Hold in
And England a
front.
chance
Hold.
is to clear their lines.
Ball on side.
Ella Cromack relieves the pressure with a good clearing kick into touch over on the north side of Hive Stadium.
Excellent exit again from England, just organising themselves into the right positions. But Nicole Flynn, we haven't chatted about her much today. She hasn't played a distribution role mostly in this opening 35 minutes, but makes a half break. She has a great ability just to get her hands free. Just flicks that ball inside, and Scotland on a half break, if they kept that ball there and built a bit of momentum, they might have created something there.
Well, the Scotland line out again not working as it should, but they have one possession this time as Kat Moody, the number 8, charges head first into the England defence. There's some lovely stuff by Scotland when they do have ball in hand, and there's Nicole Flynn again, the outside centre. Is growing into this game as well to make metres for Scotland. Freya McCall jumping in at first receiver, threads that ball through. Oh, it's dealt with brilliantly by Grace White, the England left wing, and off she goes again. That dancing footwork.
Oh, it's not quick. Play on.
The referee says play on. Ball went loose. It's been snapped up by Scotland, and again Faye Sutherland showing her skills, playing at scrum half. And tight head prop, back it comes to Gemma Thompson, and then through Poppy Fletcher. Looks for support, Charlotte Russell on hand. Quick ball for Emily Love, Poppy Mellenby. And Scarlett down, the blindside flanker. Scotland threatening the 22 again. Look to take something into half time. Ball put through by Poppy Mellenby into touch just outside the England 22.
Not a bad option to finish off. Scotland just not quite having the numbers on that right hand side.
This is yours.
Just came from this transition. Scotland just quickest to react to that loose ball on the floor. They're building some really nice stuff. A little bit of a tip. Poppy Fletcher carrying through the middle, looking to get her hands free as well. Put others into space, and then Scotland just ran out of numbers there. Had to go to the kick.
Well, through again goes Hayley Jones. Scored that 4th try. It's a long way for her to go. Thunders into Freya McCall. Good tackle by the Scotland fullback. Now has to hurry into the backfield again. And England have numbers. They're queuing up out wide as the Scotland defence tracks sideways. It's been knocked on though by England. I think Scotland will be grateful for that under pressure.
Advantage. Back to the knock on.
And referee Alexandra Ferret will come back. Knock on first by England. Scotland
back
scrum.
To the knock on. No advantage.
This was a break from the back of the line out. Just Hayley Jones finding herself in space. Really good acceleration. The pace that this game's been played at so far has been quite incredible on both sides. Making a good line break there, and then the speed of her England's teammates to support just to get them quick ball again and play on top, and then just comes a little bit loose on the handling on the outside.
Crutch! Bind! Re-engage. Re-engage, please.
Early engagement. Possession with Scotland again, just trying to get something, and through again goes Nicole Flynn. 3 breaks from the outside centre in the space of about 3 minutes, and Scotland on the fringes of the England 22 again. And Sky Phimister just couldn't take the ball. She didn't have a lot of space to work with. Perhaps just thinking a step ahead. Ball knocked on. Nicole Flynn, well, you mentioned her just a few minutes ago. She has really grown into the game, was quiet in the early stages, and someone I suspect Scotland will look to go to more in the second half.
Yeah, she's just coming off the back of an excellent Celtic Challenge season. We hadn't seen a huge amount of her in that opening 30, but she's definitely had an explosive last 5 minutes. Making a line break there, looking for her support on the inside, but England doing really well to shut off those offload opportunities. She couldn't find that pass on the inside to Poppy Mellanby, and then England working really hard to get their numbers back and scramble in that defence.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
So the clock inside the stadium just ticks over the 39-minute mark, so
Yeah, got you.
England with a carry from Hayley Head. Very strong number 8.
That's taken back.
Perhaps one last chance here. Again, happy to keep ball in hand, as both sides have been, and they've done well to get out there to Alice Bennett. They'll look for a lightning right wing. Ball goes loose again. Won by Scotland, so perhaps one last opportunity for the home side at the end of the first half. Charlotte Russell with the carry. Emily Love again going back to the blind side, and Lucy McRae, the vice-captain. 3 goes, I think that was Nicole Flynn again. In behind to Mellanby. Slightly hurried pass, but still with Scotland. Centre field. Just trying to move that England defence around. The offload by Megan Hyland. Scotland now will just look to play on top of an England defence that's just perhaps tiring slightly, slow to get back into position. Freya McCall up to the 22, Emily Love again. Poppy Fletcher. In goes Hyland, and Russell winning possession again. Love to Mellanby, just darts at the line, looking for someone inside, finds Emily Love. Good footwork from the scrum half, and Scotland 10 metres out. It's been turned over again by England, and this could be a problem for Scotland. England have sent some space out wide. Sky Phimister will now have to work hard, get across to Hayley Head. Looking inside, finds Grace White. Well, we've seen how dangerous she is. Freya McCall can't make the tackle. Scarlett Haddo gets there. Well, and through they go. It all goes horribly wrong for Scotland. Solana Shaw de Leon, the England fullback, with the swan dive over. Scotland threatening inside the 22, turned over by England. And they strike from deep. And it's Solana Shaw de Leon with England's 5th try.
Hard not to just sit back and admire some of the skill on show there from England. They turn the ball over inside their own 22. Could easily have just kicked the ball out at that point, but spotted that there was an opportunity for them to go down this left-hand side, create a little bit of space, and they find their number 8 on the wing rather than their winger. You think that Scotland might be able to get back and cover it, but they've just got so many players flooding through to support that, keeping that ball alive. That is an excellent score for them to go in at half-time.
Yeah, for me that's 7 years, that's why.
So Ella Cromack slots over the conversion. That Solana Shaw de Leon try
It was simultaneous.
Well,
That's my
that
view.
draws to a close. Well, it's been a fantastic spectacle. Opening
That's my
40
view.
minutes here at
That's what I
Hive
said.
Stadium. England with the bulk of possession and incredibly accurate, clinical scoring. 5 tries. Scotland have had limited opportunities, but unable to make anything of them. The most notable one, perhaps, a couple of line-outs that they had in there, but that's a chance just right on the stroke of half-time. And England showing just how good they are, scoring from like 10 metres from their own try line, and they go into half-time leading by 29 points to 0.
Yeah, I think we'd hoped before the game that we would see some free-flowing rugby. We'd see some of these players having the freedom to throw the ball around, and that is certainly what we've had so far today. It's been impressive to see them stretching that ball to the width, trying to get their wingers on the ball as much as possible from both sides, and then some of the skill and the speed to support has just been fantastic from both sides.
Well, let's have a look at those 5 England tries.
This was the opening one for England. It came from some really patient build-up. That scrum dominance early on looked like they were going to push over in their forwards. In the end, the ref encouraged them to play away from there, and then just a strong carry from Camilla Morale in the centres. Gets herself over, and then just a little stretch to make it from there. Second one came from a little bit of Scottish play up into their 10-metre line. England pouncing on the opportunity to get a turnover, and then again just the strength from the outside centre and Molly Bunker to break through that first tackle and then race away to the try line.
The third try, and it was Carmela Morale again, the inside centre, with our second try of the game.
Came from the England 9 and 10, just linking well again, realising that Scotland had overfolded a little bit and left themselves short of numbers on that right hand side of the field. Ella Cromack just switching sides, connecting with her 9 and then gliding in between the Scottish defence. Freya McCall was back there as well though, but she's able to just find an outside pass from her England centre, flooding through to support. That got them the third of the day.
Well, it was the England back division really showing all their skills. The forwards did get themselves involved briefly. Hayley Jones, the hooker, going over for the 4th try, and the 5th one there. That was the one that will hurt Scotland perhaps the most, as they threatened at the other end of the field, turned over by England, and fullback Solana Shaw de Leon racing away to go over for England's 5th try.
Yeah, that was a really great team try for them just before the half from their own 22, having the ambition to play to that width, and then the support and the ability to just fix a defender and put someone else into a little bit of space. In the end it was the fullback who raced over, but there was a selection of players who were involved, all getting a touch on the ball, all putting others into space. They take 29-point lead into the half.
Yes, England will be very happy with their first half showing in this Six Nations Women's Under-21 series. What's to talk about in the changing room for Scotland? Though half-time score then, Scotland 0, England 29, and we will be back again at Hive Stadium shortly with second half action.
scrum time, all right? Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome back to Hive Stadium in Edinburgh as we get ready for second half action in the Six Nations Women's Under-21 series.
Captain.
Final words in the England huddle there from Sophie McQueen,
Just a message like
the captain, the open side flanker.
so please.
England leading 29 points to nil at half time. 5 tries, 2 for Carmela Morale and Molly Bunker, Hayley Jones, and an absolute cracker from Solana Shaw de Leon from inside the 22. A long way back for Scotland.
Alex, you got me.
So we'll have first possession in this second half.
Captain, okay?
Lovely conditions here now in Edinburgh. Sun is shining, not much wind to speak of. And Alexandra Verret of France gets the second half underway. Scotland almost getting in a muddle there. It was eventually claimed by Nicole Flynn. We've seen both sides happy to attack from deep, but Scotland deciding at the early stages of this game perhaps try and get some territory as Poppy Mellenby bangs that ball up just over halfway.
Yeah, I think territory absolutely important for Scotland from here. 29-0 points, 29-0 down at half time, but still not really chasing the game. You don't want them to do anything too much away from their normal setup, so just getting a little bit of territory and then building into the second half will be really important, because they played some really good rugby in that opening 40 minutes and they'll be wanting to replicate that into the second half.
So England with the forwards just on their side of halfway, driven back in the tackle with Kat Moody, one of the biggest tacklers in that Scotland team. The home side just a little bit over eager at the breakdown.
Yours? Yeah, thank you. Yours is here, one. Yeah, yours. Open up.
Well, neither line out functioning particularly well in the first half. Discipline was perhaps the other thing the coaches would have spoken about, although it did get better towards the end of the first half. And that one working well for England, and Carmela Morale, the inside centre, setting up position for England. Hayley Jones, the hooker, takes play to the edge of the 22. Sophie McQueen, the captain. Ball stripped though. And away comes Scotland, picked up by her opposite number, Isabel Twigger. Scarlett down. Driven towards the touchline, up goes the flag. A solid defence by Hayley Jones.
Advantage was over. Line out. No, that was over for me.
Oh, sorry, I didn't give it 300.
Yeah, for me, I was over. You got the ball, and yeah, I'll be clear next time.
So Hayley Jones then made the tackle, won the line out for England. Accurate with the throw. And piles into the back of the maul. Taken down illegally by Scotland, so England with an advantage here. Megan Hyland trying to make a nuisance of herself. Amelia Williams, the loose head prop, tries to burrow her way through a hole beside the breakdown. Hayley Head, as she did throughout the first half. A strong carry, a tip pass by Sophie McQueen. Big tackle again. No surprise by Kat Moody. Will come back for the penalty.
With some help from Poppy Mellenby as well. But a really good tackle in the middle of the field there, just to bring an end to that phase of play.
We've got that maul, 5 is collapsing, I need more discipline.
England again with a really good setup from that line out, getting that maul moving forward, and Scotland having to pull it down illegally. England now getting a chance to put it a little bit deeper into that 22 and possibly set up something similar again.
Spot the forward and the back in commentary, and sticking up for Poppy Mellenby there.
Yeah.
I have to remember there are numbers beyond 8 on the pitch.
Oh, sorry, some of players injured.
Oh, it's a good kick into the corner. We've got a break in play here, an injury to Hayley Head, which we mentioned at the start. She's been pulled into the national squad after that injury to Moena Talling. Scotland also have a number of players featuring today who were named in the Scotland Guinness Women's Six Nations squad. Some of them as development players. I think Megan Highland is in the squad outright, if you like, the captain. But good to see them getting some game time.
Yeah, exactly, and I think this is one of the advantages to the two tournaments playing in the same window, as well as there's a little bit of crossover with those girls who are involved in those squads and training with them week in, week out, but also getting the opportunity to play a game even if they haven't been selected from the senior national team that week. Being able to bring some of that experience into this group as well will be invaluable, and they'll be able to share some of their knowledge with their teammates, and that can only push them forward.
Well, the line out not working as intended, but it's been won by England. Knocked on the floor. A cheers from Scotland.
Knock on the floor.
A rare inaccuracy by England. Just quickly mentioning those players. Poppy Fletcher starting at loosehead prop, named as a development player in the Scotland squad, and to be unleashed from the bench, Ella Ronald, the co-captain, the hooker Imogen Spence, and Katie Ainsworth, who you mentioned a 10, but I think covering 9 today. And starting 9, Emily Love. Of course, you coach with Watsonians women.
Crouch! Bind!
Only fairly recently has moved into scrum half as her development has progressed very quickly. She's had a good game.
Reset. That's out of the tunnel. Reset. Out of the tunnel, we need to reset. Thank you.
Yeah, it's one of those positions, scrum half 10 as well, where players tend to specialise quite early. In more recent years, we've seen a couple of players who've converted into a 9 from some other positions. Emily Love was a winger, moving into that position. Amelia McDougall on the other side today, equally comfortable playing at fly half and moving into that role. I've seen plenty of players in the national setups before have been capable of playing in that 9-10, and we'll see where Katie Ainsworth comes on later on. She could slot straight into that 10 spot, or we could see her in that scrum half role, which I know she's been training in as well.
Yeah, that's the second time.
A penalty conceded at the scrum by England. Scotland not finding touch. And back come England through Ella Cromack. Powerful fly half. Then back to the forwards, and Grace Keel. Twigger in there, Scarlett Down in fact trying to turn it over. There's space for England over on the far side. It's been taken by Carmela Morale on a hat-trick. Ball slung out wide, and England go in, and it's Solana Shaw de Leon with the score either side of half-time, and that's England 6th.
Again, England just making half line breaks and then picking out the support players on the outside. This time it's the fullback who finds herself on the left-hand touchline to finish that one off, but just I think it was Camilla Morale again, just throws a little bit of a dummy. Nicole Flynn gives her the gap on the inside, and then she finds her fullback on the outside, can finish in the corner.
It only takes 6 minutes of this second half for England to get that 6th score. And Scotland again, they're just short of defenders and caught in two minds. Do they try and defend out wide, and left a little bit too much space, which Carmela Morale was happy to take. And then the ball thrown out wide to Solana Shaw de Leon. There's plenty of pace. Difficult conversion from out wide, unsuccessful, but it's Scotland 0, England 34. Freya McCall with the restart. Going to be taken at the first time of asking by Grace White, but goes back and tidies up. And it's England just on their own 22. In goes Isabel Twigger again, just a bit of a nuisance at the breakdown, but
Time off. Time off. Captain, please. Okay. So, I've told you 9. I don't want her to claim for penalties. I'm the referee on that game. That's first message. And the incision is number 3, grabbing the foot. Right? Yeah, just quick.
I think Aisha Jah was the player penalised there, holding onto the foot of one of the Scotland players.
Number 3.
Amelia McDougall getting a bit of a telling off for the second time in this game. But too much to say to the referee. And forward go Scotland. Emily Love out to Mellenby. Nicole Flynn as well to grab that ball from behind her back. Taken down about 18 metres out. Pressure on at the breakdown from England, but Isabel Twigger comes away with the ball. Poppy Mellenby weaves her way through. Scarlett Haddo, plenty of pace, good footwork. Freya McCall on the inside. And Scotland 7 away. England just slowing that ball down, allowing them to get their defence set. Forward they come. And Isabel Twigger again leading the charge for Scotland. Freya McCall out here on the left. And England, perhaps too many defenders on this side. There must be space for Scotland elsewhere, keeping things tight for now. The Scotland forward just rolling up their sleeves. Back to the left they come. Mellenby round the corner. Lucy McRae tries to get to the try line, just short. Perhaps one more phase for Scotland. Emily Love has to go digging. Twigger involved again.
20 offside. 19 offside.
Looks like Ayla Ronald on the field of play now, wearing 16. The referee playing a penalty advantage. In behind the forwards now. McRae puts boot to ball. That's just about the bounce. Skye Phimister is there. That's a horrible bounce. Grace White across there, and I think she was all at sea if that had bounced up into the hands of Skye Phimister, but we'll come back for the penalty to Scotland.
Some patient build-up from the Scottish forwards there, just carrying really close to the line. There's loads of space over there, and you think that ball had just sat up. Skye Phimister wouldn't have had to do very much to touch it down.
Scotland will just tap and drive towards the try line through Scarlett down. Just inches away now. Emily Love, and again they go wide. It's Nicole Flynn, cuts inside the last defender, and Scotland get their try. It's taken 50 minutes, but it's Nicole Flynn with the score for Scotland.
Scotland backs just knowing the right time to pull the trigger there. The forwards from a tap and ball penalty, just pulling in those English defenders. That time we saw the space on the outside. Nicole Flynn just popping up on the outside shoulder of inside centre, getting a tip play. Yeah, Emily Love just connecting with her backline really well. Lucy McRae putting the ball across to Nicole Flynn. Nice and easy, and Scotland were really pleased that they've come away with some points from that pressure.
Still water on the pitch. Come off.
Yes, they deserved something from the amount of effort that's gone into this game. And it comes through Nicole Flynn, the outside centre, who we spoke about a lot in the closing 10 minutes of the first half. Gets her try converted by Lucy McRae. And it's Scotland 7, England 34.
That's okay. Yeah. Scrum. Yeah. Girls, I've penalised both sides. No, we need to have better. Right? Go.
Quick word from the referee to the two front rows. Scrums have been fairly evenly contested. England perhaps with a hint of dominance. It's the line-outs that they'll perhaps need to do a bit more work on over the coming week.
Set.
Heady head again, clearing the base of the scrum through the hands of Amelia McDougall to Carmela Morale. Is happy to drive into the heart of the Scotland defence. Heady head again, coming round the corner into the 22. Grace Keele now.
On the ball.
Again, Scotland forcing the penalty at the breakdown. It was Isabel Twigger. Sarah Law beside me, urging Scotland to come this way. Scarlett Haddo, Freya McCall out here, but through the middle they go. Sky Phimister looks for support. Just couldn't find Ayla Ronald with the pass. Should perhaps have just kept going. But still with Scotland, switch of direction from Kat Moody. Nicole Flynn again trying to find a way through. And someone's boot has come off. Hurled backwards, it's Nicole Flynn. Penalty to Scotland.
Play on the floor.
And Poppy Mellenbeek takes play into the England 22.
Good kick from Poppy Mellenbeek just to put them her side into the 22, but it looked like there was loads of space on this left-hand touchline as it happened. Nicole Flynn popped up with the ball, created a bit of her own space, and then she had a bit of a 1v1 against the fullback. I would have liked to see her just back herself to find a bit of space there. As it happened, she tried to look for Ayla Ronald on her inside and just couldn't quite connect well enough to get the ball into that space.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, up and up a bit, wide, step back. Stand back on. Who's receiver?
So can Scotland go back to back, build on that, try, that's a better line out. Charlotte Russell, the recipient, Emily Love plays in behind McRae to Phimister. Read well by England defence, so as Mellenby did well to get the ball away to McCall. Love charging round the corner, come the forwards, it's been ripped though by England inside centre, Carmela Morale. Again off feet, just a lack of discipline again by England. They turned over the ball, and Scotland go again through Kat Moody, just head down straight into the defence. Taken to deck by her opposite number. Scarlett down on to Charlotte Russell, and Scotland again find themselves about 6 metres out, growing in confidence. Love using the forwards, but knocked on, and the chance goes a begging.
Scotland going in ones and twos a little bit now, where they were super connected in that first half. They had 3 or 4 players ready to carry in each instance. A few of them just going 1 or 2. That was just the end of it. Just not quite getting the hand catch right there, but you can see they're working really hard to get the ball back now, because they're not necessarily right on each other's shoulders to begin with. Having to race once one player has carried the ball into that zone.
Wind. Set. Hold up.
So England from the scrum, Heady head. Well, she could have created a 2-on-1 here. Scarlett Haddo caught in 2 minds. The number 8 just keeps going. Easy metres for England. The scrum 5 metres from their line, and suddenly out of the 22. Numbers stacking up across to the left, in behind the forwards. Referee playing an advantage. And Grace White lurking out there. Well, we've seen how dangerous she is. She's pacey, she's strong, up over halfway. Chased by Emily Love, can't make the tackle. Sky Phimister will have to make the tackle. Can she get there? Good work by the Scotland right wing, but Grace White has taken her side all the way from the England 22 up into that Scotland danger zone. And now it's the forwards. And England just a little bit of short of numbers out here. Zoe Dare carries towards the 22, threaded through by Ella Cromack. I think a tackle off the ball, penalty England.
You've got option, you know, here. or where the ball ends. Either here or where the ball ends. No, either penalty is here, all right, or where the ball lands.
Yeah, where the ball lands.
Okay. You can, please.
A little bit of language barrier there. I think the referee just explaining that England can have the penalty from where it was kicked or where it landed. So obviously they will take where it landed, just a little bit closer. And that's a fantastic position to attack from.
Cool, thanks, Alex.
Absolutely, I think in that situation it was probably the difference of a metre, but we've moved a metre further forward, and a scrum here does open up both sides to an England attack. Heidi Head on the base of that scrum. We've seen a pick from 8 so far, create a little bit of an overlap on this right hand side. It's already 2 England attackers versus 2 Scottish defenders, so if she can get away from that back row she might be able to create a bit of an overlap.
I wonder if Scotland just have one too many defenders over on that far side. Well, the scrum's gone that way. England have come to the right. Heidi Head lifts it up to McDougall. Thought about the pass, went herself, and she's taken down. England 5 metres short again. England forwards again, just going to work, try and narrow that Scotland defence. The England back division lurking off to the left. And still with the forwards. The Scottish defence now very, very tight. England will go a bit wider. Cromack driving for the try line. Emily Love in there with the tackle. Round the corner come England. Oh, I think that will be another penalty. Yes, the referee will go to our pocket, Charlotte Russell. Deliberate knock on. And she's shown a yellow card. Scotland down to 14 for the next 10 minutes. And still defending to be done. As Hayley Jones taps, driving forward as she has done all game. Scotland piling into the breakdown, but they're very, very tight here. They're a player down. England forwards right through the middle of the breakdown, still short. Over they go now. Try is awarded. And I think it is Aisha Jah, the last player to come up. The England tight head prop.
Felt a little bit inevitable there, didn't it? England hammering away at the Scottish line. Some really powerful carries. Just picking and going towards the end there. Just having the power to extend in her legs and just creep over the try line. She seems pretty pleased with that one.
Try all clear, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
It's a great shot of Ella Cromack. Just pulls that one across the face of the posts. So unsuccessful with the conversion attempt, but I don't think the conversions matter too much now for England. They lead by 39 points to 7. This time it was the power of the forward pack. Scotland down to 14.
Good side. Thank you.
Charlotte Russell in the naughty step for the next. There'll be 9 minutes or so more changes being made. Frame a call coming off Emily Love. Poppy Fletcher will bring you those changes just in a second. Tally Tawaki on at loose head for Scotland, the 19-year-old. Oh, nice handling by England, shut down quickly by Scotland, trying to keep England back in their 22.
Ball was out.
That's been turned over by Scotland, it has.
Backwards.
Nicole Flynn in playing scrum half.
Tackle.
Katie Ainsworth, as you said, on at scrum half for Emily Love. See how she goes there. Typically plays fly half for her
Time off.
club side Stirling,
Yeah,
and
time off.
for Glasgow.
Sorry, that's an injury area. It's knee injury. Okay. Yeah. No, that's perfect. Thank you. That's good.
A break in play for some treatment to one of the Scotland second rows, Gemma Thompson. Let's have another quick look at the this perhaps where the injury came. This is a turnover for Scotland.
All right, thank you.
Looked like there was a decent number of bodies in that breakdown to begin with, but then all just losing their footing, leaving that ball sitting out the back of the ruck, and Scotland quickest to react to that, get on it.
Thankfully seems to be okay.
I stopped the play for the injury, so blue ball, I stopped the play for the injury.
An impressive hour from Emily Love. What do you expect from Katie Ainsworth at 9? What will she bring?
Keep going.
Yeah, I think this will be an interesting one to see her at scrum half. We mentioned she normally plays fly half for Stirling, and Glasgow I think has played every Glasgow fixture in the past 3 years at 10. She's someone who is really good at accelerating into spaces, particularly as a 10 in that kind of outside arc. So I'm hoping she's able to get into those positions where she can sort of eye up those defenders around the breakdown and get into those positions. But also this is a great opportunity for them to try it. I think they've been looking at her as a 9 and 10 option in the senior national side, so in this kind of environment it's a great place to just see what options might have available and how it might work.
Yeah, agreed.
Scotland front row collapsing under immense pressure from the England 8. That gives Ella Cromack the chance of tight angle to take play back into the Scotland half. As we mentioned, Tali Tawaki also on there, 19 years old now. Played for both Scotland under-18 and under-20 about a month after her 18th birthday. A real talent as well. Imogen Spence also on in the front row.
Reload.
Here come England again. I see Hannah Smythe on wearing 23, perhaps some defending to do here. She just has to drop into the backfield, pushes Skye Phimister across.
No hands, Rosna.
Phimister now playing at fullback for Scotland, a bit of a rearrange of positions. Carmela Morale has been excellent. She's doing the simple stuff well at inside centre, not to mention her 2 tries. And through England go again, galloping into the 22. Scotland defence hurrying to reorganise and didn't get onside, so the referee playing advantage. I don't think England will need it. Lobbed over the top to Solana Shaw de Leon. Great footwork, great finish, and that's a hat-trick.
Yeah, she's done really well to finish that one off. She found herself on the end of some really good play for England on 3 occasions so far today. First one was through the middle, second one on the left wing, this one on the right hand touchline. Again, England backs just linking really well. Found themselves a little bit of space. The forwards done the hard work through the middle to begin with. Really got them some good momentum, good quick ball. And then England backs just queuing up to pick off the Scottish defenders. A little ball over the top, and she still had a little bit of work to do in the end. Hannah Smith coming across to cover. She steps inside and excellent finish in the corner.
Yes, the lobbed ball probably didn't do her any favours. It just allowed the Scottish defence a little bit of time to come across. She showed her footwork skills, cutting back inside, over for a hat-trick. Conversions have not been particularly easy for Ella Cromack. Successful with just the one of them, but 8 tries for England. They lead by 44 points to 7. 15 minutes left in this first match in the new Six Nations Women's Under-21 series. As I mentioned in the build-up, it was played at under-20 level previously and played just across the space of a week during the summer. Great to see this new format. 9 fixtures, 3 each, sides playing either 2 at home and 1 away or vice versa.
Okay for me, that was good.
And England now full of confidence. Scotland still playing with 14.
No, joining now.
In goes Tali Tawaki to try and turn that over for Scotland, and the home side just a bit short of defenders. I think we'll be grateful that ball was not taken cleanly. It wasn't knocked on. Still with England just outside their 22.
No. Leave the ball.
Showing they can strike from deep.
Advancing.
I think that ball not coming out of there. England going forward. Will be a scrum to the visitors.
Unplayable. White scrum. Sub. 9. Number 9. Your place.
So Amelia McDougall making away at scrum half for Poppy Love.
Okay, we just watch that. Alright, I'll watch. This is going to be slow cadence.
Yeah, a fantastic showing. I know we mentioned Amelia McDougall in the first half, but she has been excellent.
Adjust to that, right?
Yeah, she has. She was pretty lively in that first half, having a couple of snipes around the breakdown. Probably less active around that in the second half, but just controlling her forwards really well, getting them moving into the right positions, and then connecting really well with her fly half to unleash the backs when they've asked for it. I think she's controlled and managed that game really well.
Point. Set. Stay up.
So England play away from the scrum. The Scotland pack just creaking a bit, still down to 7. Pulled out the back by Jodie Verghese on wearing 20 now. England also ringing the changes. Increasingly finding space. Grace White, who has been a real handful for the Scotland defence over in that left wing. And then route 1 through Hayley Jones. Up the middle goes Honey Kerslake on wearing 21. Kerslake looking for the ball again over on that left side, but England come to the right. Lucy McCrae on the tackle, trying to turn that into a maul. That is a big tackle by Kat Moody. She just throws herself into tackles without any regard for her own safety. And Lucy McCrae doing likewise. It's another big tackle on Jodie Verghese. Well, playing the 9 there was Ella Ronald, co-captain. She will have taken over captaincy duties for Megan Hyland, who she replaced at hooker. I think most of the replacements now on. That kick, though, not finding touch, taken by one of the Scotland replacements. Hannah Smythe of Hartpury Uni, featured for Glasgow this year, chases her own kick. Manila Cromack, a lonely figure at the back here for England, but does really well. She's strong, but unable to control the ball on the deck. Snapped up by Lucy McCrae. Crowd getting behind this Scotland team. Is Tali Tawaki showing her strength, driving towards the England 22. Katie Ainsworth, that's a lovely pass across the face of 2 players, just threatening the spaces a little wider in that England defence. Back it comes to Kat Moody. Driven by a couple of our teammates into the 22. Imogen Spence now, replacement front row. Scotland playing at pace here. Mellenby tries to thread that through.
Advantage. Back to the offside.
No advantage. England offside.
Offside. Push 10 meters. Push 10. Offside. Pillars offside. Offside. After that, I need you to be better at entries, alright? Yeah. Okay, good. Alright?
Ayla Merriweather entering the fray, wearing number 19 for Scotland. Just at the back of that huddle.
Take a step, please.
Not involved in the line out. Her first job might well be to carry. If Scotland can get the first part of this equation right, their line out hasn't functioned perfectly. Ayla Ronald, new hooker, and again over the top, can't be won by Spence at the back, but Scotland do have it. Mellenby to Moody. Scotland 10 out. Mellenby again. McRae puts that ball through. Looking for the chasers over on the far side. It's over the try line, touchdown with goal line dropout.
Alex, he was taken back by White.
Okay, sorry, good catch. You're right. Sorry guys, pass taken back.
Yeah, I think from here it looked like it was a good weighted kick. England had taken that ball over the try line, so Scotland are going to get a 5 metre scrum out of the back of that. But Scotland look like they're trying to play with pace, just not quite getting around the corner quick enough. So England have got numbers up there, and then they're having to look for those little kicks in behind just to find a little bit of space. There, Grace White just turning to get back. Didn't quite have enough time to manage to run away from that one, and had to dot it down over a try line. So a good outcome for Scotland off the back of that.
So what can Scotland make of this opportunity? Just the one try so far through Nicole Flynn. Well, through the goal, can they get to the try line? That's good defence by England. There's numbers out to the left. Scotland just looking for a quick ball. They've picked and gone to the right instead. Back it comes to Scarlett Down. Katie Ainsworth has to go in there and secure possession. She'd rather have been making that pass. Ball dropped by Scotland, but backwards. Ayla Ronald, I think they're playing scrum half. Now they go wider. Nicole Flynn out to Smythe. Can she get in the corner? Scarlett Haddo. I didn't realise she was about to be bundled into touch. Tried to throw the ball back in the field of play. Scotland threatening, but England up to the task.
Great cover and tackle there as well by Solana Shaw to Leon. She scored 3 tries at the other end, but working really hard to close it off. Scarlett Haddo nearly had enough pace to get around the outside, but she was well ushered into the touch.
Hit and hold, girls, alright? Hit and hold. Okay. Crouch. Bind. Set. Tackle. Move 6.
The Heady Head.
12, that's okay. 12.
Buying England a little bit of breathing space from the base of the scrum. Jodie Berghese just making another metre or so, set up the position for Ella Cromat. Won't find touch. Scarlett Haddo. The Edinburgh winger just looking for space in front, decides to give the pass. Wasn't the perfect pass. It's a crunching tackle. Lucy McRae caught between 2 England players. Space out there if they can get there through Lisa Brown. On in the centres, Katie Ainsworth back inside to Scarlett Haddo. Left wing popping up over on the right. Scarlett Down holding her hand up over on this side, the Scotland blindside flanker. Fancies a run on the outside. Oh, that's good work at the breakdown again by England.
Come off. Yeah.
Really good work at the breakdown from England, just getting themselves over the ball. And then a couple of Scottish supporters just coming in to try and clear it off, but staying strong over that ball. And they were always going to come away with either a turnover or a penalty. All flankers do a really good position to begin with, making sure she wasn't moved by those initial clearers coming in. Being rewarded with the penalty in the end.
cleared the injury. There is head contact, but the tackler is bent at the hips, bent at the knees, and there's no foul play.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ali.
Sorry, I should have added as well that the player was always falling, the ball carrier. Yep.
10 meters, please. Penalty. Come on. Penalty. Yeah, 10 meters. Holding on. Scrum, okay. Scrum, please. Scrum.
So an England penalty, opting for the scrum. And you look England scrum. I think just about all the replacements on there. Mary Page, well, it's an all Harlequins front row. Mary Page, Zara Green and Ruby Winstanley.
Let's go, Joe. Ruby all day, go. I'm with you, Tally. Let's go. I've got 8 seconds. Come on, Ruby. You have got a chance.
Crouch.
6. Let's go, Ruby.
Boys.
10. Let's go. Let's go, Tally.
Set. Use it. Use.
Scotland just applying the pressure, but
Knock on.
well, it's forced to knock on at the base. My Poppy Love.
Perfect. Knock on at the back of the scrum. Scrum ring.
Perhaps here as they were packing down, they just come over the referee's mic. Let's go, Tally. Scotland, loose head prop.
Let's go here, go. Let's go here. We fucking want this ball. Let's go. Let's go here. All day, Tally. All day. Let's fucking go. Let's go all day. Let's go.
Crouch.
All day Tally this time.
Let's go, Tally.
Mixing up their encouragement at least.
Set.
I've always wondered what it's like in there.
I don't think you've wondered that much, have you? Not enough to try it. Right, we're going to get your thoughts on player of the match just very shortly. In fact, let's do it now because that's a knock on again. So you've got the time it takes to set this scrum down to run us through who was in your reckoning.
Yeah, I think after that first half we had 10 possible candidates for player of the match. There've been some fantastic performances on both sides. I think from the Scotland perspective, Kat Moody again, just getting them some really good go forward. Poppy Fletcher, phenomenal in that first half, really getting them go forward. From England, Amelia McDougall controlling the game really well. Grace White whenever she's had the ball in her hands, but I think someone for me got on the score sheet pretty early. She carried really well, got England some massive go forward, and then she's done a real good shift in defence as well. So player of the match for today is England's number 12, Carmela Morale.
A very good choice. 2 tries for Morale in the early stages of that first half, as England gained dominance and a lead that they've never looked to relinquish. Scotland just with that solitary try to show for their efforts. Kat Moody, who you just mentioned there, who never takes a backward step. She's put in some thumping tackles. That's another good carry. Katie Ainsworth out a bit wider to Scarlett Down, who's done well with ball in hand too, the blindside flanker. And a smile with Scarlett Haddle outside. Lucy McRae takes play into the 22 again. About 2 minutes left to play here. Can Scotland get themselves another try? Katie Ainsworth in there very quickly. Mellenby, well, it's been intercepted by England. Mellenby goes back to make the tackle on Haidee Head. Has it been turned over again by Scotland? I think it has. Well, there's numbers out wide now. Can they get the ball out there? Just through the hands of Merriweather. Can they get to the try line? That is an absolutely superb finish. And it's the double for Nicole Flynn.
That's a superb finish on the outside edge there as well. There was an overlap there, but she had an awful lot to do. The strength just to keep powering her way through, get that handoff out. That is an excellent finish. She'll be really pleased with getting that second. Really good from the second rows combining there just to do enough to fix the defenders and then give Nicole Flynn enough space on the outside. Breaks the first tackle, gets the handoff out. carries the second defender onto the end.
Time off.
Nicole Flynn, Scotland number 13.
Time off.
Time off. We got something to look at here.
Down. You get to the... Yeah. Come back on.
Nope, all good. All good. Lucy
15
McRae,
seconds.
who converted Nicole Flynn's first try. It's a rather more difficult attempt, 5 metres in from the far touchline.
5.
The view across to a packed south stand. Unsuccessful with the conversion. The 2 tries, no less than Scotland deserve. Nicole Flynn has been excellent, quiet in the first 30 minutes, we said, but she's been very good with ball in hand for Scotland. A nicely weighted restart allowed the England chasers to get there.
Cool. Got you.
Out to the forwards now. Oh, clean through the middle they go. Stopped just short. But they're queuing up to the right now. The referee playing an advantage. Playing the 9.
22 grabbing the 9.
England looking to convert this one. Numbers away out to the right. I'm not sure the forwards are going to give the backs another shot. Short again. Pick and go, diving for the try line. Great defence by Scotland. Now they go wider. Well and fitting. It's the player of the match, Carmela Morale, in for a hat-trick.
England forwards doing all the hard work to begin with there, and then again the backs just knowing exactly the right time to pull the trigger. Only half a metre or so to gain, but Carmela Morale again on the score sheet twice before then, fitting that she scores her 3rd just to round off the match. And they have been excellent in the centres for England today.
Ella Cromack slots the conversion, takes the score up over a half century. And that the final act of what really was a superb game of rugby. England dominant, but Scotland very much played their part. 2 tries for Nicole Flynn, but 9 for England. A hat-trick for Carmela Morale, our player of the match. A hat-trick for Solana Shaw de Leon. And then the forwards, they were allowed a little bit of time with the ball. Amelia Jha, Hayley Jones, and then of course outside centre Molly Bunker. And I think the England coaching staff will be very, very happy with their performance. Scotland, lots to build on.
Yeah, definitely. I think from an England perspective they'll be really pleased with how today's gone. A good mix of work from the forwards, some good connections for the backs. A couple of handling errors that probably stopped them from pushing on much further. So little things that they can improve over the championship, but I think they'll be really pleased with how they started. From a Scotland perspective, there was some really good glimpses of attacking from them. I really like their ability to move the ball to the width, to get the ball into some of their wingers' hands, which have proved that they're really, really dangerous players in some of the Celtic Challenge in recent weeks. I think their forwards against the strong England pack coped really well as well, so I think that there'll be a lot of positives for them to take into the next 2 game weekends in this Under-21 Six Nations tournament.
Well, we could have had a much better start. 9 games, as we said, to be played over 3 match days, space of about a month. 2 more still to come today. We'll remind you of those in a second, but there's confirmation of our final score at Hive Stadium. The Scottish Gas Murrayfield in the background. Well, we can look forward to the Guinness Women's Six Nations match between the 2 nations, kicking off at 1:30 in the Under-21 Women's Series. It finished Scotland 12, England 51. And Sarah Law will now head down pitch side, try and grab a hold of our player of the match, Carmela Morale. And England head coach LJ Lewis, who sadly we weren't able to get a hold of at the start of the game. He's involved in the warm-up, and also wearing a boot on one of our feet. Obviously sustained an injury and maybe didn't fancy walking the length of the pitch down to our camera. But we'll get some thoughts from her, and I suspect she will be very happy with our side showing. Anyway, let's have a look at the tries. Hayley Head picking up at the base there. I'll look at this from a different another angle. There's Ja with the carry. Hayley Head, and England breaking away. This is the second try. I think Molly Bunker. Look at all the tries in the game. Carmela Morale with the first. Molly Bunker, her centre partner, with the second. Hayley Head, who was excellent, wearing number 8. And as happened several times during the game, Scotland just not quite getting their numbering right in defence, and then unsure who to mark, whether to defend a little bit wider and leaving spaces through the middle. Amelia McDougall there, who we spoke about a lot. I think the same happening again there. Scotland caught in two minds. Ella Cromack certainly wasn't, took the space, and then feeding Carmela Morale, who went in for her second try. Nicely timed pass from Ella Cromack, who pulled the strings nicely, was never afraid of contact when needed. Grace White, I'd like to have seen more of the England left wing. She was excellent in possession, but that was Solana Shaw de Leon with the 5th try. Hayley Jones was sandwiched in there, the hooker, with the 4th try for England, and that was the one that really hurt Scotland. Turned over the ball as the home side threatened inside the England 22. They went the length with time in the red at the end of the first half, and it was Solana Shaw de Leon with her first try, and then the fullback applying the finishing touches. 6 minutes into the second half, again Carmela Morale the provider. Look at it from a front-on view. Morale is taking the space in front. She knew exactly where her fullback was. And Shaw de Leon, the Harlequins fullback, in for her second. Well, it took us 50 minutes, but Scotland were well worth a try. And out to Nicole Flynn. An excellent showing in the Scotland 13 jersey. The England defence is very, very tight there. Emily Love in behind the forwards. And the pass from Lucy McRae to her centre partner, Nicole Flynn. The Glasgow centre, Edinburgh Uni student. But back came England, and it was Amelia Ja, the tight head prop, who went over the try line for the 7th time in the day for England. Ella Ronald just couldn't quite do enough to deny the try. Well, Nicole Flynn went in for another for Scotland, but before that it was Solana Shaw de Leon with her hat-trick on the end of some really nice play by England again. Missed the try for Nicole Flynn. Merriweather just on the field of play. The ball out into the wide channels, but still a huge amount of work for Nicole Flynn to do, showing her pace and her power to go over for Scotland's second try. But it was England Under-21s who had the final say in the match. And who else? Carmela Morale, the England inside centre, our player of the match. So 9 tries for England. It was 2 for Scotland through Nicole Flynn. And the final score, Scotland Under-21s 12, and then English counterparts 51. And I think now we can head pitchside. Sarah Law is with our player of the match, Carmela Morale, and the England head coach, LJ Lewis.
I'm joined pitchside in a now sunny Edinburgh with our player of the match and winning head coach from England. First of all, like a great selection of tries scored today. How did you find playing out there?
I think credit to the forwards, they made our job as backs really easy, like scrum pen after scrum pen, made Ella put us in the right places of the pitch, and then once we're down in the goal zone it's quite easy to convert with this team. Like, we've got heaps of good ball carriers, and then we've got the backs that can move the ball, and then we've got the speedsters on the edge, so it was a lovely game to play because we're playing in the right areas, we're just playing like fun rugby.
And 3 tries for yourself today, 3 tries for your fellow fullback as well, so sharing them out a little bit in the back, but how pleasing was it for you guys to get on the ball so much?
Yeah, I think, as I said already, the forwards put us in such a good place. They carried really hard, and then it unlocks the space on the edge for us backs. As soon as we see that space, the comms comes in from the edge, and it just felt free-flowing, like everything was connected, everyone was moving in the right places, and the puzzle pieces just kind of were putting together.
Perfect. And from a head coach perspective, what are you most pleased about from today's performance?
The biggest thing I'm pleased about is the transfer from the week. We had a really clear week around starting with our foundations and then building from there, and every single player's bought into that today, and we have so many examples of our game cycle coming out, so just really proud of that, and that the girls have transferred the week into the performance.
And we talked about it a bit in commentary actually, this new format for the under-21s to sort of replicate the training week that goes into a game for the senior squad. How important is that for your under-21s who might have a future ambitions to play for the senior side?
It's such a key part of this programme moving forward. If we want to retain the World Cup in 4 years' time, these players coming through need to have these experiences now, so that when they move up and take the step up, which a lot of them are doing, they're getting experience of both right in this moment. It will just set them up really well in the next 4 years and allow the Red Roses to continue with their dominance. So this programme's really key to us retaining the World Cup in 4 years' time.
Good ambition to have. Carmela, you've been involved in that senior training squad as well. How's that been for you?
Yeah, it's been a good challenge. Like, it's definitely a step up. Like, the way they train with such intent, such speed. So it's been a good challenge. I've learned a lot from there, and I've been able to bring that back into this environment and then try and put it into play and into practice.
Perfect. And you've got Ireland and France up in your under-21 campaign. Is it about replicating the same as what it is today, or are there things that you want to do a little bit differently against those kind of opposition?
I think the game plan will change accordingly. Like, the coaches are so good at putting the right game plan in place, so as players we'll just follow that, make sure that we get that right in the week leading up, but a lot of what we've done today we should hopefully see against those next 2 teams.
Be exciting to watch, I think. Thank you very much for your time today. Well done.
Thank you.
So, a happy England camp. Head coach LJ Lewis with our inside centre, Carmela Morale, our pick for player of the match. And what a start to the Six Nations Women's Under-21 series. Great entertainment from both sides, but it's England who claim the opening win, 51 points to 12 victors over Scotland here at Hive Stadium. Still to come though, this afternoon at 2:20 at the XCOM Stadium in Galway, it's Ireland against Italy. And then at 6:15 this evening at Cardiff Arms Park, Wales against France. Well, that is it for our coverage today. We're running straight over to Scottish Gas Murrayfield. Now make sure you take in some of the Guinness Women's Six Nations this weekend. Next up for these teams, well, in a fortnight England face Ireland in Coventry, while Scotland travel to France to face the side who are perhaps favourites for the title, although England will have something to say about that after today's performance. We'll be back at Hive Stadium on the 10th of May when Scotland welcome Italy in the final round of the Six Nations Women's Under-21 series. Until then, from all of us here in Edinburgh, thank you for watching.